Good afternoon and welcome. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Miranda Brown, and I'm the ITSA Feuerwerker Professor of Chinese Studies in the Department of Asian Languages and Cultures, and the Director of the LSA Honors Program. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this event, one of first in 3 days of celebrating our graduates. We begin by acknowledging how extraordinary the last 4 years have been. Most of you started college in fall 2021, which means that you spent most of your high school dealing with the after effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. That's why we hope the ceremony and all the others these few days are going to be extra special. You've been through a lot, learned even more, and achieved a tremendous amount, and here you are. It's amazing. This event is about celebrating you and about recognizing with your family and friends your extraordinary achievements. In case it's not obvious, in this event we celebrate graduating honors students across the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts. Honors is above all about academic excellence. College involves lots of things: becoming an adult, having meaningful experiences, having all kinds of funs, some of which we don't need to get into. But academic endeavors are what anchor it all. Honors in LSA can mean a couple of different things. You can begin your college career in the honors program. You can take a rigorous set of introductory and distribution courses, either going beyond the basic requirements or by taking courses specifically designed for the intellectually ambitious. If you do really well in those courses and maintain an overall high GPA, you earn a sophomore honors award. Some of the students we recognize today were the recipients of that award about 2 years ago. You might have forgotten, but we didn't. Welcome and congratulations. Even if you didn't start in the honors program, you can become an honors student in your major. In most cases, this means writing an honors thesis, a work of original scholarship that is completed usually during the senior year. A successful completion of the thesis means that you graduate with honors. In some majors, and by some I mean math and statistics, you can graduate with honors by taking an incredibly rigorous set of courses instead of writing a thesis. A lot of you are here today because you've done one of those things, thesis or math. Welcome and congratulations. Finally, you may graduate by earning honors in the engaged liberal arts by integrating rigorous coursework with independent leadership or civic engagement projects. Several of you are Gila graduates. Welcome and congratulations. Some of these students have been with us for 4 years and have earned both the Sophomore Honors Award and are graduating with honors. We also recognize graduating seniors who have otherwise served honors ideals, especially the honors resident advisors, or HRAs, who have been crucial in building our community in South Quad and beyond, and the academic peer advisors who make our first year orientation so successful. Welcome, congratulations, and thank you. All of these students are successful because of the support they've gotten along the way. We know from reading thesis acknowledgments and talking to students over the years how crucial family and friends have been. We are so glad you're here with us. Welcome. Graduates, I hope you agree that we should thank your families and friends for their support. Yeah. I also want to acknowledge my colleagues from the honors program, our advisors who make us the envy of the college, our first-rate staff, and wonderful teachers. The students know why I should. They too have helped you get here. They will help you today as well. Their names are listed in the program. They are, once again, doing all the heavy lifting. Directing the honors program is the best job I've ever had, and it's because of the students and the staff I get to work with daily. So thank you. We've acknowledged valuable people, but as I said, what this event, and like the events over the next few days, is about is your achievements. We want to share some words of wisdom to put them in context, but I am not the person for that job. So we've asked an alumnus who was in your shoes some years ago and can now reflect back on his life in college and beyond. Dr. Nate Wood graduated from LSA Honors in Linguistics in 2014. Dr. Wood went on to earn his medical degree from Wayne State University, followed by his residency at Yale New Haven Hospital during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Before his medical career, Dr. Wood graduated first in his class from the Institute of Culinary Education in New York, completing his externship at a two-star Michelin restaurant, The Modern. His commitment to integrating medicine and nutrition has led to publications in prestigious journals, including the New England Journal of Medicine. Beyond his clinical and educational work, Dr. Wood has made his mark in the media with features on major networks like NBC Nightly News and Good Morning America, and has even made a Netflix appearance. His achievements have been recognized with an MTV Video Award in Everyday Heroes Frontline Medical Workers category, and a place among Connecticut Magazine's 40 Under 40. With his breadth and depth, his relentless energy, we believe he exemplifies the spirit of the LSA Honors Program. Dr. Wood, please share your thoughts.
What a silly introduction. Very nice to be here with everyone. Congratulations to the graduates. Big shout out to the parents who are here, as well as our other loving family members and friends. Big thanks to the professors and administrators. But really, the honor is all mine to be here among the leaders and the best. And before I even begin, let me just acknowledge the fact that some of you are probably thinking to yourselves, isn't this guy a little young to be giving a commencement address? And don't worry, because I'm thinking the exact same thing. I always love coming back to Ann Arbor and to the University of Michigan, from the chicken broccoli bake at the South Quad Dining Hall, to crisp fall football Saturdays, to writing for the Michigan Daily, to long hours spent in the law library, to the Sunday brunch at Sava's, a personal favorite of mine, fish bowls at Charlie's, No Tie, Pizza House, and the list goes on. I had some of the best times of my life here. Note, however, that Great Books was not included on that list. Now, commencement speakers are generally invited to give addresses like these because they've achieved some success in the eyes of the world. You all are honors graduates, so I don't have to tell you about that. You know a thing or two about success already. But have you ever really stopped to think about what success means to you? As a kid, I'm sure you studied hard, you got good grades, you got into one of the best universities in the world, clearly. That's success. And then once you got here, you studied hard some more, you got some more good grades, many of you wrote a thesis, and now you're graduating from honors. That's definitely success. But what's next? What do you hope for yourself for the future? I encourage you to think about it. And if the answer you come up with is to be happy, or to be the first to achieve a particular feat, or to be the best at something, that's a good start. But keep thinking. How can you build something of lasting value? How can you improve the lives of others? How can you advocate for the marginalized in our society? What's your vision for your life? What are your values? And how can you live in accordance with those visions and values? It's a tall order, for sure, but if you can figure out how to do this, you will enjoy true success. Now, to be clear, I do not have it all figured out. This chef is still workshopping his recipe for success, but I have identified 3 key ingredients. And for your many years ahead, I'd like to share my recipe for success with you. The first ingredient has to do with passion. By now, you've probably heard at least once that you should follow your passion. But actually, that's not enough. You need to find your passion, take it to the extreme, and then apply it to an important problem that needs solving. My passion for cooking really has been lifelong. By kindergarten, I was in an apron and standing on a chair in the kitchen at my mother's side. I'm sure I wasn't much help. In elementary school, I got my first Easy Bake Oven, and then in my preteen years, I entered my yeast era, making cinnamon rolls and homemade sourdough, bagels, you name it. And by high school, I was planning and preparing many of our family's meals. I enjoy making food for myself and my family, and I was good at it, so I could have easily stopped there. But like all you overachievers would too, I kept going. So first I went to culinary school. I gave that my all, graduated first in my class, as you heard. And then I went to be a line cook in New York at a 2 Michelin-starred fine dining restaurant, which you also heard about. What you didn't hear was that it was really terrible. And if you've watched The Bear, you can imagine why. And this year, in honor of my culinary school's 50th anniversary, I was named one of its top 50 graduates. But I can assure you that is not because I am one of the best technical chefs of the last half a century, seriously. It's because of how I've applied my passion for cooking to an important problem. The problem is that people in our country, at alarmingly high rates, are suffering from chronic diet-related diseases, things like heart disease and diabetes. And in many cases, these conditions can be prevented by changing what we eat. I'm determined to help folks do just that. I've been able to combine my love of food with my calling in medicine through a field called culinary medicine, where we teach people how to cook delicious, nourishing food to help improve their health. Last year, I accepted a position as the inaugural director of culinary medicine at Yale, which means I get to work with a super talented and passionate team to teach medical students and residents, conduct cutting-edge research, serve the community, and provide free culinary medicine classes to patients. I see people smile and lives changed every time we step into our teaching kitchen. Quite simply, it's my dream job. And if you want to land your dream job, find your passion, take it to the extreme, and apply it to an important problem. Okay. Next ingredient, be prepared to adapt. When I started my internal medicine residency in July of 2019, I had already found this passion for culinary medicine, so I had big plans of how to incorporate that into my training. But a short 8 months later, in March of 2020, something much more pressing demanded my attention. I was working the night shift in the intensive care unit when our hospital's first patient with COVID-19 was admitted. I was still an intern, but not for long. We were promoted early to the rank of senior resident so that the hospital could accommodate more patients. We were pulled off of our scheduled rotations to staff the overcrowded COVID floors. My colleagues and I wondered aloud if going to work would kill us. A series of ghastly scenes from the ICU are forever etched into my memory. I have never seen such chaos. It goes without saying that my passion for culinary medicine took a backseat, a far, far, far backseat. My patients, my profession, and for what really felt like the world at the time, I had a bigger job to do. I was forced to adapt. And as a result, I learned more during those 3 years than I might have otherwise learned in decades. I learned humility. Doctors don't know everything, surprise. And like when we were first faced with this brand new disease, sometimes I realized we knew very little. I saw more starkly how social determinants of health impacted my patients' outcomes. If they didn't have access to a primary care doctor, so their blood sugar was uncontrolled, or if they lived with obesity because their home was in a food desert, they were more likely to die of COVID. I saw the power of families connecting with their loving patriarch or matriarch, and I saw the heart-wrenching pain when those connections were reduced to a short FaceTime call on a nurse's iPad. But I also learned how to take better care of people. At the beginning of COVID, even when I had no treatments to offer, I could still provide empathetic bedside manner, words of reassurance, and prayer. The human body is remarkably resilient. And while many of my patients never made it out of the hospital, many did. Supportive care is still care. And I was reminded that providing that care is why I went into medicine in the first place. I still carry those pandemic lessons with me every day. When I'm taking a dietary recall with my patient, I'm doing so with empathy and I'm screening for food insecurity. When I'm recommending medications or interventions, I try to do so humbly. I tend to not just my patients' biological needs, but also to their psychosocial ones. I involve families in treatment plans and reinforce the healing power of a strong support system. I try to provide reassurance whenever possible, and I still pray for my patients. I have my whole life to learn about and practice culinary medicine. But when my skills and presence were needed in a different way, I was honored to be able to adapt to offer them. And in your careers too, you will be forced to adapt, I can promise you. And when that happens, don't treat it as a nuisance or as an obstacle to overcome. It's not setting you back, it won't keep you from achieving your dreams. To adapt is to grow and develop in a way that you might not have been able to otherwise. So face the challenge to do so with confidence and poise. And take heart in knowing that someday you'll be able to use that growth to better serve others. Okay, final ingredient. Seek truth and fight for it. I'm not sure this has ever been more important to say than it is today. We are a culture awash in misinformation. And I see the implications of this every day, particularly when it comes to nutrition. So let me just give you a little insight into my current 9 to 5 by highlighting a few of the questions that I'm most frequently asked. What kind of diet is best? Should we be following a keto diet or a Mediterranean diet or a vegan diet or a carnivore diet? Are seed oils toxic? Are artificial sweeteners worse than sugar? Is organic better than conventional? Are plant-based meats healthier than beef? Are artificial dyes safe? One of our patients in the teaching kitchen actually asked us a few weeks ago if it was okay to eat corn because she had heard that it wasn't good for you. Corn, a vegetable. My blood pressure is rising just thinking about it. This is why I now spend so much of my time doing health media, chatting with reporters, journalists, and anchors trying to combat nutrition misinformation. Because when it comes to what we eat, it's our very health that's at stake, and misinformation causes real physical harm. Most people, I can tell you, are yearning for truth, and literal lives can be saved if we're able to help them find it. And it's not just in the field of nutrition where we need people to seek and act on truth. So if you're not planning on becoming a nutrition expert, don't worry. There's still plenty of truth out there for you to fight for. So for our future doctors out there, you'll be spending a lot of time talking about vaccines. Lawyers, ready your logic to defend against attacks on our Constitution, civil liberties, and workers' rights. If you're going into media or academia, ensure you have safeguards to practice unbiased journalism and publishing. If you're headed into management, sign with a company that doesn't have to obfuscate the truth in order to appease its shareholders. If you're locked into finance, support businesses that act on truth to make the world a better place. Or if you're a budding entrepreneur, start one yourself. Resist the urge to grift or take advantage for money or power, as so many in today's world do. Yeah. Instead, seek truth and fight for it. So that's the recipe. Now, like I said, graduates, this recipe for success is still in development. But despite its being in this unfinished state, I'm now passing the recipe on to you. You'll have to put your own spin on it, of course, adding a dash of this or a hint of that. You won't have the same experiences I've had, so you may change the seasonings a bit or swap out an ingredient here and there. But I have no doubt that each of you is ready to take what you've learned here at Michigan and in honors and to apply it to important world problems, of which there are many, in service of the greater good. The time has come to let you cook. Congratulations, honors class of 2025.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Wood. Each of you had a unique path through college, and it would be wonderful to hear from everyone, but we'd still be here in June. So instead, we've invited 3 of you to share their thoughts to represent the honors class of 2025. Our first student speaker is Avery Crystal, a senior graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Political Science and Cognitive Science. Avery joins us today as a true embodiment of academic excellence and campus leadership. Originally from Los Angeles, Avery's academic journey has taken her from Ann Arbor to Oxford to Seoul National University, where she studied jurisprudence and the Korean language. Her remarkable contributions include serving as an opinion columnist and deputy managing newsletter editor for the Michigan Daily, for which she received the Wasserstein Award. Her impressive resume also includes working as a legal clerk, specializing in malpractice and immigration law, and consulting for Michigan Political Consulting. Following graduation, Avery will be heading to New York City to begin her career as a project analyst at a leading national law firm, perhaps the first step towards becoming the next Perry Mason. Does that reference still register with any of you? Okay. When not pursuing academic excellence as a James B. Angel Scholar, you might find her attempting the New York Times crossword or spending time with her golden retriever mix, Winnie. Today, she'll share with us insights from her time at Michigan, including her experience taking a class with DeRoy Fellow and Pulitzer Prize winner Anthony Durr. Avery, please share your thoughts.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to the University of Michigan Honors Class of 2025. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was introduced to Nathaniel Hawthorne's infamous tome, The Scarlet Letter. Hushed sighs blanketed the classroom, and when my wonderful teacher, Miss Benson, pulled out her copy, I turned to one of my classmates and whispered, "It's called The Scarlet Letter because A is red, right?" My friend looked puzzled. "What?" she replied, as Miss Benson opened the first page. "Never mind, sorry," I quickly responded. It was in that moment, which I replayed on a loop on my way home from school, when I realized for the first time that my brain works a little differently. For me, when I hear the letter A, I picture blood red, B, a pale butter yellow, and C, a piercing sky blue. It's so intuitive, like the sun rising or a cup breaking when it falls, that I never thought it was unusual until I said it out loud. This cognitive process, where hearing a number or letter automatically triggers seeing a color in your mind, has a name. It's a neurological condition called grapheme color synesthesia. Statistically speaking, somewhere between 17 and 48 people in this room have the condition, and are perhaps for the very first time, like I did, discovering that not everyone hears the word Tuesday and sees slate gray or hot pink in their imagination. I filed the discovery of my synesthesia away until years later when the University of Michigan Honors Program invited me to explore how unique sensory processing is not just a mental quirk, but an academic discipline, a universe of research, and a portal to deeper understanding of the self and the surrounding world. In 2023, I enrolled in Honors 493, A World in a Grain of Sand, examining the formulaic and the unfamiliar in creative work. It piqued my interest because it was taught by Anthony Durr, author of incredible works such as All the Light We Cannot See. We began every class by reading or writing from a perspective that would at first seem impossible to grasp. Rocks, microscopic organisms, mythical creatures, even ambient sounds. No shoes were too challenging to fill, and no eyes too unfamiliar to see through. In this class, we explored the concept of Umwelt, how each organism experiences the world through its unique sensories. Honeybees flit through flower beds using ultraviolet light, while green sea turtles navigate by sensing Earth's magnetic fields. Our perceptual systems take in information so unconsciously that I only realized my synesthesia was unique when I stopped to question it. Questioning your perception and how it influences your worldview is central to the Michigan Honors Program. As humans grapple with emergent AI, we're bombarded with provocative questions. How do we differentiate the human mind from the artificial one? How do we measure authenticity? At what point does our understanding become elusive? Like humans, bees, or turtles, AI has a unique Umwelt. Rather than rejecting this difference, the Honors Program embraces it, encouraging inquiry rather than condemnation. As honors students, we strive to see beyond our own perspectives. It is at this moment that I'm reminded of another phenomenal example of Umwelt, David Foster Wallace's This Is Water. For those who are unfamiliar, two young fish are swimming when an older fish swims by and says, "Good morning, how's the water?" The youngsters turn to one another and say, "What is water?" Diplomas will fade, caps and gowns will gather dust, But no matter what, everyone in this room is leaving with one thing, their own unique umlaut. The greatest gift that the University of Michigan Honors Program bestows upon all of its students is the ability to realize it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Avery. Please welcome our next speaker, Trey Topping. Graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Earth and Environmental Science, Trey brings a unique perspective shaped by his distinctive academic journey. After beginning his college career playing baseball at, I'm going to try and not mess this one up, but Willamette, I think it's Willamette University, Trey continued his studies at a community college before finding his true home at the University of Michigan. Throughout his time at UM, he has developed a keen interest in how broader conversations about environmental issues can catalyze meaningful change. Trey is particularly passionate about the craft of public speaking and speech writing, appreciating the power and artistry of effective communication. Following graduation, he will be heading to Washington, D.C. this spring to pursue his passions. We are looking forward to hearing about those passions and from learning from his skills as a public speaker.
Friends, classmates, peers, loved ones, my fellow Wolverines, congratulations. It is really great to be here with you this afternoon, and I'm deeply humbled to be among such an accomplished group of leaders and scholars. 2 years ago, it was the honor of my lifetime to be admitted to this great university. And now I'm very grateful to say the same of being here with you on this stage today. The experiences of being an all-conference NC2A Division III student athlete, and then moving back home to attend community college, and then transferring to the University of Michigan, have all led me to value relationship building and believe strongly in the importance of mentorship. If it were not for the key lessons that a handful of mentors, coaches, teachers, mom, dad, my brothers, Aunt Joan, and my grandmother imparted onto me along my journey, I would not be the person I am today. I suspect many of the graduates here today may feel the same way about their own mentors. When I reflect on my baseball career, I don't remember my batting average, I don't remember how many home runs I hit, and I don't remember how many runs I batted in. I do remember, however, the time I got to spend with my teammates and my friends, bonding over the early summer mornings of conditioning and long afternoons in the weight room. I remember the nights I spent at the batting cages with my mother, who became my high school's first certified female baseball coach, so that she could access the batting cages for me after hours, put on my old and worn out old catcher's mask, drop balls into the pitching machine late into the night for me. I remember those nights, Mama. I reminisce on the camaraderie and the strong community that comes with working side by side with others as part of a team to achieve a shared goal, something greater than any one individual, to reach for something special all of us Wolverines strive for. At the University of Michigan, I quickly identified Dr. Janan Carbush, my geobiology professor, as an empathetic and compassionate leader, and as a researcher who values the human impact of her work. Exactly the qualities that, I think, make a great honors thesis advisor. When I first asked Janan if she would be willing to take me on as a researcher, she said no. Also, Janan, thanks for being here this afternoon. I really appreciate your support. I'm grateful that, despite having a grand sum total of 0 days of research experience, you changed your mind. Janan recognized I was willing to work hard, and so she took a chance on me, taking me under her wing, and she mentored me in the development of my thesis project, using isotope geochemistry to investigate the response of plants to the increased availability of reactive nitrogen, And if you didn't quite catch that, don't worry, it took me 18 months to fully understand it too. In the last 4 years, I've spent a lot of time focusing on my GPA. I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, can appreciate this. Who can blame us? It's important. It's a key factor in law school and medical school admissions and plays an important role in determining our job prospects after graduation. However, in my time at Michigan, I've realized that it is not the only thing that's important. I've learned that it is not the definitive measure of the quality of the lives we or our loved ones live, nor is it the measure of the strength of our community. Rather, my time in the Earth and Environmental Sciences Department and in the Honors Department have shown me that the measure of a life well lived rests with the memory of those who you've personally touched and the memory of those who have personally touched you. The quality of the time you spent growing with your teammates. Just as I recall the bonds I formed with my baseball teammates, when I look back on my time at Michigan, I won't remember my GPA, but I will certainly remember the late nights on the second floor of the Michigan Union that I spent with my classmates refining our final presentations and hammering out our final papers. As I embark on my next adventure of pursuing environmental policy at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., I hope I find a community of people like those I found at Michigan who put in an extra effort to be thoughtful and kind, a group of people who make it about helping others and working together to make things better. In your future endeavors, I hope that each of you is able to find, build, and be a part of a supportive and generous community, as we have all been so fortunate to find here at the University of Michigan. I hope you continue to meet and collaborate with individuals who, in baseball terms, are willing to step up to the plate and go to bat for you. I hope your team is always growing. Again, I'm incredibly grateful to be here with you today. Congratulations on your outstanding, rigorous academic work. Congratulations on your graduation. As my dad likes to say, let's celebrate this win. Go Blue.
Well, thank you so much, Trey. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our final speaker, Elizabeth Leonard. Hailing from the sunshine of Fort Myers, Florida, Elizabeth brings not only her sunny disposition, but also her impressive academic achievements to our ceremony today. Graduating with a degree in biology, health, and society, Elizabeth has distinguished herself as a pre-dental student, a member and researcher for the National Association of the Academies of Science, and a researcher at the Melissa Duhaime Lab. She also spent, I guess, a year or semester at Aix-en-Provence studying French, doing study abroad. And I had the pleasure of getting to know her personally when we collaborated on honors shorts, the LSA Honors Program's first venture into comedic short filmmaking earlier this year in January and March. Her passion for the arts and performance shines through in her talented acting, so be sure to watch for her in honors shorts when it's released in the fall. But for now, please welcome Elizabeth, who will share more about her Michigan experience.
Thank you. For as long as I can remember, I've loved to perform. I danced in my first pair of ballet flats until they were full of holes. My middle school loaned me a violin that I played until my family's ears were bleeding. I sang Taylor Swift at open mics until I got booed off the stage. Who cares that these bar patrons didn't love my off-key rendition of Love Story? I sure didn't. I loved music, and I loved to dance like no one was watching. However, unfortunately, in order for me to have any successful career in entertainment, I had to dance like someone actually was watching. For the first 15 years of my life, I desperately wanted to be a part of the esteemed dance troupe, the Rockettes. Although my dancing and singing abilities certainly had improved, it was always going to be an uphill battle. For the sake of both my hip flexors and my fear of failure, I decided to pivot. On my high school's career day, I toured a dental office and experienced something that I'm sure everyone feels when entering a dental office. Love at first sight. I watched one wisdom tooth extraction and I was hooked. At the University of Michigan, I tailored all of my classes, extracurriculars, and my research thesis strictly to dentistry. I also constantly reminded myself of the sacrifices my family made for me to receive a top-tier education to give me a leg up for dental school. It was imperative to me that their investment would not go to waste. I ate, slept, and breathed dentistry. I liked having goals. I liked achieving those goals. What could be so bad about that? As the end of college junior year, I developed a few non-teeth related hobbies, one of which included lying awake at night, wondering how something that I was once so happy to give all of my attention to was now completely suffocating me. I still enjoyed dentistry, but considering how thinly I was spread, that enjoyment was no longer capable of keeping my head above water. I had little to no balance in my life. I lost sight of everything else that was important to me, and I sank so far below the sea level that I forgot what the sun felt like. A once bright-eyed kid with a fervor for learning and living was now invisible. I hit rock bottom, and I continued to dig. How did I get here? And even worse, how was I going to get out? In January, I received an email from the Honors Program advertising an open call audition for a series of short films. I hadn't acted or performed in years. Was I going to find another opportunity like this, given my lack of experience? Probably not. So I auditioned, and I somehow got a part. During filming, I felt something that I had long forgotten: fulfillment, joy, dancing like no one was watching. I learned a lot about filmmaking and acting, and I worked alongside a great group of people, many of whom were just like me, pursuing different majors but still drawn to participate in something artistic. This experience gave me newfound strength to continue on, even when classes, dental school applications, and completing my senior thesis seemed impossible. Other than gaining motivation, 15 new friends, and lots of fun anecdotes, I was also guided to a lecture given by the film's director, Greg Granson. The lecture followed his journey as a young journalist turned foreign correspondent in Russia and Afghanistan turned filmmaker and director. His journey was not easy, but his struggle allowed him to always pursue what he loved, no matter if it almost cost him his life. He understood and expressed the guilt that arose from wanting to chase the arts and other passions that veered heavily from his initial path. I was curious throughout the lecture if his new path also included gaining mind-reading powers. He urged that there is always courage to explore, room for more, so long as you have the courage to explore. Sorry, I'm a crier. So, what am I going to do now? I think dentistry still lies ahead for me, but who knows what else? Maybe I will be a rockette. Maybe the honor shorts are only the beginning of my acting career. But if I've learned anything from my time at U of M, it is that not only am I a scientist, but I'm also an artist. The honors program reminded me that both of these can be true. Thank you to U of M Honors and everyone involved with honors shorts for renewing my strength and reminding me that without balance and joy, I don't really have much. And last but not least, thank you to my family for supporting me no matter what. You helped me swim to the surface way quicker than I ever sank. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you again, Avery, Trey, and Elizabeth. So now we recognize each graduating honors student individually. I ask the students to follow my colleague, Dr. Denise Gilo, who will lead you onto the stage to be greeted. Upon entering the stage, please hand your walking card to Dr. Lisa Broom, who will announce your name as you cross the stage to be acknowledged and receive your honors card. We ask the guests to please to stay in your seats and not come to the stage or the aisles. There will be excellent opportunities for photos later. And now we're going to start one row at a time. Academic advisor Julie Nelson will be on the floor and release the rows as we go.
Avery Crystal, Cognitive Science, Sophomore Honors Award with distinction. Trey Topping, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Elizabeth Leonard, Biology, Health, and Society. Munjin An, Biology, Health, and Society. Margaret Cushy, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience, Sophomore Honors Award with distinction. Charlotte Parent, English, Sophomore Honors Award with distinction. Jade Lee, Cognitive Science. Ariana Kurtzman, Social Theory and Practice, Sophomore Honors Award with distinction. Abigail Kelleher, English. Isabel Philippek, History. Sarah Stawers, Cognitive Science. Julie Joe, Creative Writing, Literature. Andrea Hassig, Ecology, Evolution, and Biodiversity. Rebecca Brewer, Economics. Kyla Dougal, Economics, Sophomore Honors Award with distinction. Joshua Ravichandran, Economics. Safa Hijazi, English. Catherine Hattersley, English. An Wen, Biochemistry. Isha Acharya, Economics. Umana Ahmed, Philosophy, Honors Resident Advisor. Srinidhi Kanakam, Biophysics, Honors Resident Advisor. Shuyun Liu, Economics. Mingri Lee, Economics. Frank Higgins II, Economics. Zan Huang, Cognitive Science. Luke Homans, English. Mei Chen, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Chloe Kazagalis, Neuroscience. Elizabeth Colias, Psychology. Sophia Harvey, Neuroscience. Nina Smith, Creative Writing, Literature. Elizabeth Gass, Cognitive Science. Anastasia Ilkev, Political Science. Meena Pandrangi, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Lily Burney, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Anya Beal, Arts and Ideas. Brooke Lang, Neuroscience, Sophomore Honors Award with distinction. Ellie Sobieschek, Chemistry. Ashley Durden, Gender and Health. Bipasha Ray, Biochemistry. Noah Rich, Economics. Umar Goyle, Linguistics. Bradley O'Brien, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. Aaron Baldwin, Environment. Alyssa Sun, Biology, Health, and Society. Molly Umansky, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Sarah Lindsay, Environment. Catherine Harpino, Environment. Isabella Sperry, Biology, Health, and Society. Bella Kellogg, History of Art. Sophie Sheps, History of Art. Kayla Drifka, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Alma Wong, Biology. Manit Angra, Neuroscience. Noor Renolet, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Alex Xu, Computer Science and Mathematics. Leo Tao, Mathematics. Yawen Zhang, Economics. Joseph Choi, Neuroscience. Ethan Hendry, Neuroscience. Elena Gross, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Elizabeth Geib, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Marlo McCullough, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Samantha Blackmore, French. Levi Heron, History. Dakota Benjamin, Political Science. Peter Hagen, Neuroscience. Gabrielle Michael, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, Sophomore Honors Award with Distinction. Valentina Knapp, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Lucy Potts, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Kyle Garcia Rogers, Biophysics. Teresa Serdan, Anthropology. Samuel DeSorbo, Data Science. Finley Gordon, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Timothy Leong, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Rayan Moigel, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Adi Mizrahi, Ecology, Evolution, and Biodiversity. Addison Yerkes, Anthropology. Emily Kakefer, Anthropology. Artharva Kulkarni, Mathematics. Ananya Kasi, Computer Science. Shreya Jaggi, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, Sophomore Honors Award with Distinction. Kaylee Kuhlman, Creative Writing, Literature. Aiden Morgan, History. Rita Qureshi, Neuroscience. Dana Miner, English. Anna Bussy, English. Martha Schaller, English. Catherine Bentley, Biology. Maya Dunn, Evolutionary Anthropology. Adya Jatia, Biochemistry. Caitlin Kotsiopoulos, Political Science. Juliana Hickey, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Grace Price, Psychology. Orly Shapiro, Psychology. Gabriela Muniz Chams, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Alejandra Gonzalez Manso, Psychology. Paola Martinez, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Olivia Phillips, Communication and Media. Jillian Waitsman, Biology, Health, and Society. Morgan Milstein, Honors in the Engaged Liberal Arts. India Pruitt, Anthropology. Gabriel Marsh, Anthropology. Saja Giri, Interdisciplinary Astronomy. Sneha Dinda, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, Sophomore Honors Award with Distinction. Rawan El-Husseini, Philosophy. Nan Vol, Biochemistry. Gia Samantha Voon, Economics. Abigail Goodman, International Studies. Annika Siegel, Arts and Ideas. Mark Arsever, Microbiology. Isabel Dugan, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience, Sophomore Honors Award with Distinction. Peter Falb, Ecology, Evolution, and Biodiversity. Zachary Lovell, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Grace Selinsky, English. Emmanuel Bordonis, History. Catherine Lindsay, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Sydney Lyle, Comparative Literature. Gabby Cooper, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Jaden Lee, Neuroscience. Mackenzie Wook, Neuroscience. Daniela Ludmir, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Brian Georges, Biochemistry. Bridget McCann, Biochemistry. Lillian Shern, Psychology. Elizabeth Tolrud, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, Sophomore Honors Award, and Honors 135 Instructor. Crystal Zhang, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Ainsley Helens, Biology, Health, and Society. Ellie Amori Sampson, Political Science, Honors 135 Instructor. Chloe Hutchins, Biology, Health, and Society. Asha Mohapatra, Biology, Health, and Society. Catherine Nee, Psychology. Elena Marvin, Computer Science. Alifa Chaudhuri, Political Science. Alexander Healy, Political Science. Yunwo Young, Computer Science. Tian Xia, Computer Science and Mathematics. Baoqin Fei, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Anna Wooten, Ecology, Evolution, and Biodiversity. Chloe Christensen, Political Science. Madeline Folks, Ecology, Evolution, and Biodiversity. Lydia Herman, Biomolecular Science. Kathleen Fitzsimmons, Interdisciplinary Chemical Sciences. Jamie Stout, Neuroscience. Anna Van Kempen, Neuroscience. Annie He, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Krithika Verkata Subramanian, Computer Science. Daria Salitsky, Russian. Chidima Udebuman, Afro-American and African Studies. Victor Gia, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Ubiram Kunameni, Cellular, Molecular, and Biomedical Science. Arsal Naim, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Shifa Mullik, Psychology. Isra Hack, Neuroscience. Khadija Faruqi, Neuroscience. Ariadne Aristidou, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Ellen Muir, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Karis Rivers, Political Science. Maya Michelson, Political Science. Jenny Kuo, Political Science. Grace Musai, Microbiology. Aaron Knapp, Psychology. Ji Jen, Communication and Media. Carla Osorio, Communication and Media. Sudan Anamalai, Mathematics. Vidya Srinivasan, Political Science. Grace Lee, Political Science. Ingrid Hoffman, Political Science. Maya Brado, Political Science. Sophia Jekchaz, Biomolecular Science. Caleb Ott, Chemistry. Teresa Lee, Chemistry. Yiqing Liao, Psychology. Pooja Yalavarthi, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Jennifer Ming, Neuroscience. Janae Shah, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Hannah Lubowitz, Psychology. Evan Wren, Psychology. Edward Hugh, Biomolecular Science. Jessica Newman, Biology, Health, and Society. Emma Margolis, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Eden Yu, Psychology. Ari Zweibaum, Psychology. Riley Stipe, Psychology. Vanessa Francis, Biology, Health, and Society. Valerie Greenwood, Interdisciplinary Chemical Sciences. Paul Fontana, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Samuel Tan, Data Science. Junran Jia, Data Science. Joy Liao, Biophysics. Noor Al-Shalabi, International Studies. Sheldon Joe, Mathematics. Jacqueline Moreno, Political Science, Sophomore Honors Award with Distinction. Cecily Phillips, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Eric Waters, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Jonathan Portinga, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Natalie Keating, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Ryan Gibson, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Camlin McKay, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Lila Perkins, Mathematics. John Putnam, History. Jane Heckendorn, History. Leah Drehorst, History, Honors 135 Instructor. Hannah Gorman, History. Jacqueline Carananto, Biochemistry. Sophia Tussick, Data Science. Jacob Friedman, History. Kushi Sharma, Neuroscience. Renee Thomas, Cognitive Science. Mukund Murthy, Computer Science. Max Warshawski, Psychology. Sabina Lee, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Nicolena Antifornario Capello, Psychology. Xiaoxin Yo, Mathematics. Leo. Hanji Bayan, Mathematics. Shin Lee, Computer Science. Stefan Blazen, German. Arthur Wong, Computer Science. Mutian Shen, Mathematics. Christopher Davis, Mathematics, Sophomore Honors Award. Kendall Kliggensmith, Psychology. Hans Liu, Physics. Emily Mills, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Elizabeth Zomeri, American Culture. Monica Whalen, Classical Civilization. Lucy Williams, Classical Archaeology. Bianca Wong, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Abigail Hagert, History of Art. Catherine Barlow, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Vivica Matthews, Linguistics. Katrina Pershey, Psychology. Josephine Anderson, Creative Writing, Literature. Ani Ye, Statistics. Lunyon Lee, Biochemistry. Jun Chen, Mathematics and Statistics. Weilai Ye, Biology. Hongyu Chen, Neuroscience. Jiang Liu, Cellular and Molecular Biomedical Science. Matthew Salinas, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Siyuan He, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Catherine Tang, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Tessa Scully, Sociology. Alexander Swirsky, Sociology. Emma Tiersten Nyman, Sociology. Matthew Billick, Sociology. Tanae Brewer, Sociology. Haorui Peng, Sociology. Anshul Jain, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Devarshi Mukherjee, Neuroscience. Faraz Hassan, Informatics. Monica Yu, Asian Studies. Ejia Wang, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Junji Lee, Political Science. Judy Zhu, Psychology. Saeed Siddiqui, Mathematics. Anika Vishwanath, Arts and Ideas. Yuwen Zhou, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Yuan Chan, Data Science. Ziming Sun, Physics. Yujian Fu, Physics. Hanjin Zhu, Data Science. Yihan Guo, Mathematics.
Okay, well, all of us from Honors would like to join all the family and friends in congratulating these amazing students. So you make us proud, and I have no doubt that you will become the leaders of the future. So thank you in advance. Now we are almost done. As we end, we ask the guests to stay in their seats while we recess from the stage, followed by the graduates. Graduates, once we have passed, you please follow my colleagues to the room where you robed, where you will collect your certificates and other tokens of recognition. You can then return to the lobby just outside to meet with your family and friends. But one more time, congratulations and go blue.